Everyone talks about confidence, but do we really know what it is? Is it a mindset? Is it a skill? Is it something that you're born with, or can it actually be developed? Well, in this episode, I'm breaking down what exactly confidence is. And I also get my guests to define it too. So we're going to actually share it together, but I'm going to give you my personal definition of what it is, and we're going to build and frame it from there. So throughout this journey, throughout this episode, you're going to be hearing from trainers like myself, college coaches, former college players that are professional players, mental performance coaches, and just people, different people from in and around the game that have all come together to help you get a blueprint to build your confidence. But we're going to start off with defining what confidence is, because if you don't know what confidence is, then how can you build it? So without further ado, we're going to get into it. So performance trainer Lucy, she defined confidence as this.
You have confidence in what you're doing, and you're also not afraid to admit when you maybe were wrong, or you also know that if there's a better way, you find a better way to do things. You're confident in what you know, and you're able to admit to those things. So
she says basically trusting your work, knowing that you can make mistakes, you can mess up and bounce back from it. Then I got Scott Goldman, mental performance coach.
Confidence is a physiological, emotional state. And I think where most people will talk about it as an emotional construct, I don't think as many people talk about the physiological aspect of confidence. So it's confidence is a physiological, emotional state based on a belief of accomplishment or capability of getting something accomplished.
Beth Mouye, she defined it as
your belief that you can figure it out. I think that's the truest form of confidence. Belief that you can figure it out.
She is another skills trainer, and she defines it as belief in yourself to be able to figure it out. That's what confidence means to her. You are confident that you are able to figure it out. And next I got my boy Josh Sharkey, former D1 player and now overseas pro.
I think confidence is like just a testament of your work that you would put in over time. Just repetition and muscle memory. Doing it in the off season or whenever you're working out, and then just translating that to the game. I think that builds confidence over time.
I think everyone kind of agree with that one. It's basically about the work that you put in. The confidence in yourself is the work that you've put in. Speaking of putting in work, another trainer over here, my boy Phil Morrison.
Yeah, I think confidence is really a good sense of identity in who you are, and then your ability to deal with stresses or challenges and overcome those. I think, the old saying, I think it might be a Jordan quote, is, confidence comes from preparation. So it's the ability to draw back on what you've done to prepare.
Next, I got Marie Benson, another former D1 college player that's a pro overseas.
Trusting in yourself, believing in yourself, not letting anything deter you from that, being confident in your decision, no matter who's around, no matter who's watching or what's going on, like your surroundings.
And that belief in yourself is also what this Division I coach, Coach Carly, said to me too.
Confidence is really the belief in yourself. That's literally what it is. The belief in your ability. And it's something that's so easy to shake and so hard to gain, but it's so self-driven, that it's an interesting thing, especially this day and age with kids in this generation. You keep hearing, people talk about this generation, but really confidence is just the belief in the work that you put in and the belief in yourself. That's really what I define it as.
And as for me personally, I define it as self-trust or self-belief. So if you're self-confident, you have self-trust or self-belief to be able to do this thing. All right, so let's think about this confidence journey as a journey as when you're driving down the road, or maybe you're walking throughout a school or some new building. If you've driven this way a few times, then you trust yourself to be able to get there. If you have been in this building a few times, then you trust yourself to be able to figure it out, to know how to get in and out, the exits, how to get to these rooms like you need to. This comes from the experience to be able to handle this specific situation or ones that are close enough to it, and the skills that kind of build up over time of collecting, of doing this thing over and over again. The more that you drive, the more skills that you have of doing this thing, that means the more confidence you have of doing this thing. The more times that you walk into this building, the more times that you walk into other buildings, the skill you have of figuring out how to get in and get out. And so the more confident you are, the more comfortable you're going to be. And you can throw on some twists and turns in a road as you're driving, but you're going to be able to figure it out either way because you collected enough skills over time to be able to figure this thing out. And at first, you're going to get a little lost. You're not going to know what to do exactly. And you're not sure after a few turns of driving how to figure this out. After a few attempts, you start to kind of figure it out and you kind of prove to yourself that you're capable of driving. So each mile that you drive and each turn that you take, it builds up a little bit of confidence in yourself. You can drive through heavy rain or at night in the same environment, and you're going to feel pretty confident about yourself, even though the environment and the challenge has changed over time. But you know you're really confident and you're feeling yourself when you're walking into the building and you're just scrolling on your phone and really paying attention anymore. That's the next level if you know where you're going and how to handle it. Because at that point, you're not really focused on the skill of how to maneuver through. You're really almost subconsciously just walking through the building now, and you're just kind of scrolling through your phone. That's where your main focus and main attention is. So in the world of basketball, let's take it back. No, let's go back to when you first started trying to make a layup with your offhand. So my righties trying to make a layup with your left hand, lefties trying to make a layup with your right hand. Or let's go back to when you first tried to really change your shot. Your jumper wasn't all the way best. So you started to finally tweak it and change it to get a better and more improved jumper. At first, it was pretty weird, and I'm pretty sure it's awkward. That's pretty much everybody's experience. And of course, it's frustrating to deal with that. But over time, you stuck with it. You kept practicing and kept developing your own feeling for it on how you would make that layup or how you would make that shot and what your form would feel and look like. And then over time, you start to hit a few layups. And your form started to feel a little bit better. You're making a couple shots. And then you start to get more comfortable with yourself making a layup or shooting with that form now. But then you start to hit them in practice. Or you're just hooping in the gym or just open gym, hooping with your homies, you're starting to make them now. But then you finally get to the point where you're trusting yourself and now you're hitting them in actual games when they count more. But not only are you hitting them in games now, but now you're hitting them contesting against the big. Or you're hitting them in big moments, in clutch moments when they matter most. And you're doing it with no second thought. You're not even thinking about it anymore. You're thinking, I need a layup, so boom. So you go shoot it with your left hand. Or you're thinking, man, we need a shot. Okay, I'm just the one that's going to shoot it. To bring my definition in basketball terms, it's confidence in your skill. You're trusting yourself and your skills and your ability to be able to make this thing work. But not only believing in the skills, but believing that you can develop them and you can also grow them. That's the difference between the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. When you have a fixed mindset, you don't really think you can really grow and develop how you need to or how you want to. When you have a growth mindset, well, it's kind of self-explanatory. You can grow more and you can grow your skills and you can develop more, meaning you can develop your confidence and grow your confidence even more. But the beautiful thing about having a high level of confidence in your skills is that you can accept failure too. You can accept when you miss a shot, or you can accept when you have a turnover or you miss a layup, because your confidence is so high and your trust in your skills is so high that yes, it's a mistake and I failed, but I can still bounce back from it. But this is a very, 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 very important piece of building your confidence and thinking about what confidence actually means and what it is. So you can build your confidence and trust in yourself that you can do the thing. So let's take it on about shooting. You can build your confidence in being a great shooter by actually shooting. Not by talking about being a great shooter.
I said what I said before. I always said I'm up there, I think, with the best shooting big man of all time. And
not by planning your training sessions, your practices on how many reps you're going to get in about being a great shooter. Not thinking about being a great shooter. Not watching film on being a great shooter, but actually going out and taking the shots. Actually doing the things that shooters do, which is shoot the ball. But also not just thinking you can do it, not hoping you can do it, not wishing you can do it, not just a strong feeling, but you have a level of certainty that you know that you can do it. So when you trust someone, it's not that you necessarily think you can do it, you almost know that they can do it. You have a very high level of trust in that person or in your team to do what they said they're going to do. So if you want to hear from me, let's hear it from a GOAT himself, Kobe Bryant.
Funny, like, it's, to me, the mentality is a really simple one in the sense that the confidence comes from preparation. You know, so when the game's on the line, I'm not asking myself to do something that I haven't done thousands of times before, right? So when I prepare, I know what I'm capable of doing, I know what I'm comfortable doing, and I know what I'm not comfortable doing. Right? And so in those moments, if it looks like I'm ice cold or not nervous, it's because I've done it thousands of times before. So what's one more time?
You ever stepped on the court and it's almost like you forget how to hoop? Like you were just killing it to practice before, but then the game time hits the warm you a little less confident, not feeling as much. But then the game hits. It's almost like somebody took your controller and they unplugged it and it just turned it off. It's not working anymore. So now game time coming, you start pump faking on wide open shots, and on the fast break you're hesitating. And by the end of the game, the coach is like, "Who is this kid? Why are they on my team? How did they get on my team? I don't recognize this player anymore." It's almost like that Space Jam scene when the NBA players got their talent stolen by the aliens and they start looking around like, "Where am I? What is going on with me?"
Come on, we're okay. We're okay. You're all right. Come on, let's go.
Come on, Patrick. It's showtime.
And I get it. I feel you. Confidence is a really tricky thing. It's weird. But I got some good news for you right here. You don't have to hope to feel confident every game, because I made something special just for you. I have a pre-game and a post-game checklist for your confidence. All right, it's the things you can do before you step on the court to make sure that you feel confident, and to bounce back after the game to make sure that you're always improving and building your game. So hit the link below and it'll be sent straight to you guys, and it's gonna help you out so you don't feel like that 2K player that's just glitching in the middle of the game anymore.
And his name is John Cena.
Alright, so it's going to have you get back to feeling like yourself and playing like you never have before. So go ahead and hit the description below and lock in with us and get your confidence rebuilt. And so I want to leave you with this. I developed these 4 attributes or 4 characteristics of what a confident person is. So it's the 4 A's. Alright, so the first A is actions. The second A is ability. The third A is awareness. And the 4th A is adaptability. So first is actions. They are confident people. They are the ones that can actually do it. Remember I said, the confident people are the ones that can do the thing. Not think the thing, not wish for the thing, not watch the thing, but they do that thing. And plus, taking actions eliminate doubt. When you actually when you know that you can do the thing, or even if you can't do the thing, you don't have to have fear and doubt about it anymore, because it's a concrete thing. You either did it or you didn't do it. In discussion, there's no fear and worry about it anymore, because it's either done or it's not done. But you always feel better when you take action and do the thing, because now you know, if I got up in front of the stage and I sang and it sounds terrible, well, now you know. Now there's no need to feel anxious about it. There's no need to be fearful about it. You bombed it. You knew. But now you can actually move better now and be more confident. Say, hey, I know I can't sing, but now guess what? Now you can put the work in and be a better singer and improve your skills now. So now number 2. This kind of piggybacks off of number 1. So not only is it good enough to take action, but you also have to have a level of skill to do the thing. So the most confident ones are the ones, not only can they do the thing, but they can do it very well. So a lot of people can talk about it. Another percentage of people do the thing, but even fewer do the thing and do it well. Think about it in basketball terms. A lot of people talk about the game in basketball. Then there's a small percentage of those people that can actually go out there and do it and do play. But then there are actually a very small select few that are actually good at playing basketball. Everybody runs their mouth about the NBA. Everybody got a good opinion about the NBA and how basketball is going. But there's only a very few people who can actually play and do it pretty decent, even at a good enough level. But then there are very few players that are actually in the NBA. But sometimes being good at it is more subjective. It's more about your thoughts and opinions on it. Because some people are confident that they can go sing, but are they good at singing? To each his own.
That a flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star spangled banner yet wave?
But they're also confident to get up and go do it though. So if you saw somebody that got up and go sang at the Super Bowl halftime show in front of millions of people, but they're terrible, they have a high level of confidence they would do that, whether they sang very well or they're terrible at it. Their confidence is high enough that it didn't matter. So the ability is a great thing that they have, because if I put in the work and I put in the reps to do it, then I have a high level of trust and I have a high level of confidence in myself to be able to do this thing. So my skill level of being a great singer or a great basketball player is high because I put in the work, I've put in the reps, I've trained enough to be able to have a high level of skill and ability because I have now. So now I have high confidence in myself to be able to do this thing now. And it also becomes a level of preparation. So yes, it's great to be able to freestyle and do things on the fly, but it's another level of confidence of knowing that I prepared for this moment as well. So Kobe talked about being prepared and trained for the moment. That elevated his confidence to be able to do the thing. So preparation is you practicing and training beforehand, before the game, to do it then, versus at the last minute thinking, oh, these little pregame warm-ups are going to get me going. It's cool, but you actually need to go out and do more and do the thing to make sure you're prepared for the moment, because the preparation builds up your confidence and trust as well. And as you keep hearing me say, trust and confidence is synonymous for me, because if you're able to trust yourself to do this thing, then you feel pretty confident able to do the thing and have the ability to do this thing as well. But now the third attribute is awareness. And I want to break it down in two different ways. So the first level of awareness is going to be the environment of what's around you. So it's the people building you or supporting your goals. You need to be aware of who's around you that's supporting you and uplifting you up. It's the homies that's cheering you up. They're like, yo, let's go work out. Let's go train. Make sure we're studying. Make sure we're eating weights. Make sure that we're eating right and we're working out, lifting weights. Make sure that we're running and getting our conditioning in. You be aware of that environment, what's around you, the people that's around you. But also be aware of the people that are insecure. Be aware of the people that are going to be tearing you down and making sure that you're going away from your goal, actively pulling you down and going to and deter you from your goals of where you want to get to. That ensures your confidence, because the people around you can say,
I don't think you made the NBA, man. You know, only X amount of people make it to the NBA. Only X amount of people play college basketball.
And that can really mess you up. And so if you want to be a confident person, you have to check the people around you, because insecure people stay in weak environments. The most secure ones, the ones who are confident, they almost shy away from those people, but the people also shy away from them as well. So not only being aware of the environment around you, but being aware of the environment in you, meaning your strengths and your weaknesses, knowing what you can and can't do, knowing that I'm not Steph Curry. I cannot shoot the ball that well. I'm Shaquille O'Neal. My strength is going to be down in the post, banging down low. I'm aware of this. That's where my confidence is, because I know I can do this thing. If I'm Steph Curry, I'm not banging down like Shaq. I'm not stepping down in that paint. I can shoot the ball pretty well, and I'm confident in that. If you ask me to post up like Shaq, I don't know. I can't do that as well. Can I do a little bit? Yeah, I can do it here and there. But I'm aware to know, man, I'm 6'3", 205 pounds. I'm not going to sit here and try to bang it down low like a 7'1", 300-pound beast can. You have to have enough awareness of that. And when you're aware of yourself and knowing who you are and what you are, it makes you a little bit more confident, because you're self-aware to know where your strengths and weaknesses are. But I also think empathy goes a long way when you're talking about this too, because when you're aware of yourself, you're also aware of other people around you too, because you're not pushing yourself and your ideas on other people. I think empathy and insecurity are two opposite things. So the ones who are confident of themselves are able to have some level of empathy, and the ones who are insecure are the ones who aren't as confident. Because when you're not secure of yourself, you don't know who you are, you're trying to force this narrative and force your fear on other people as well. But when you're secure in yourself and you have high level of empathy, it's easier for you to be confident, because you can't just let someone else's thoughts and feelings sway you and push you off and mess you up from where you want to go. And this third piece of environment is a very important thing, of knowing yourself and knowing what you can handle, what you can't handle. Meaning that if my goal is to become stronger in the gym, you have to start off and know what you can handle. So I'm not going to start off with, 225 on a bench and try to bench press that. No, I'm not able to handle that weight and that stress. It can really hurt myself. But it's also thinking about that in the emotional, mental space of saying, if I want to grow and get better with this thing, I can only handle so much of level of stress to be able to push myself out of my comfort zone to grow and get better. So there's this thing called zone of proximal development. So you want to be in a sweet spot where it's not too soft and too cushy to where you're not really going to develop how you need to, but you don't want to go too far on the other end to where now you're overly stressed and you're overdoing it to where you're now insecure and now you're feeling fearful to you're not growing. So you want to be too cushy where you're not growing and pushing where you're overly confident and you're arrogant almost, but you don't want to go too far on the other end where now you're super insecure and you're super fearful. The zone of proximal development. And the last characteristic of confidence, the fourth A, is adaptability. So think about it in basketball, if your flexibility to be able to play different positions. But think about it in life as you being able to handle different situations and environments. So if you're able to step into a corporate room and be yourself and be able to flexible handle the situation, but then step down and go into a little kid's a first grade room and handle things well, you're pretty flexible because it's two different environments. I had a mentor who was able. He's like my second dad, really, man. I mean, he had some different hats and roles in my life, man, but he was so flexible to where in my church he able to speak all the way up from the big church to youth church to children's church. He'd speak all the way to the kids, and it could be the same message he needed to deliver, but he'd get across to everybody. So his flexibility to be able to handle this message and deliver it to where everybody can understand it was amazing. He was one of the geniuses to be able to do that. That was flexibility in that area is amazing. And so for him, he was a flexible person and be able to adapt to different situations and new environments because he could speak from 99 all the way up to 9 months. It's amazing. But also being adaptable shows a level of insecurity because if you're not open-minded enough to adapt to new environments and new information, it shows that you're not confident. It shows that your level of insecurity is there. So whatever new information and new environments come at you, but you're a little iffy, a little shaky, that's a sign that you're not as confident in yourself to be able to adapt and change for the times of what's coming now. But I also think about this security as also being judgment free. So a lot of times people say that they're fearful of failure, but I think it's really more of a fear of being judged. So I think about it like this all the time. And no offense to anybody when I say this, but I think about the freedom of you see a white man just dancing. That level of freedom that you see and have is what I wish to obtain someday, of just being able to have that level of carefree, judgment-free mindset and confidence in myself to just say, hey, I'm gonna go out here and dance in the rain and with my shirt off, my beer belly, and nobody can say anything about me. And I'm confident in myself to be able to do this. That's the level of confidence I want to get to. And I wish you all that level of confidence as well. But also that the ability is also being able to have a diversity of skill sets, meaning that I can, in basketball terms, be a triple threat. I can dribble, I can shoot, and I can pass. Or one game I can go out and I can score 20. Next game I ain't got it. All right, cool. I can get 10 assists this next game. Also having different level of skill sets bring a different level of confidence because no matter what environment I'm in, no matter what situation I'm in, I can figure out how to make this thing work. So you have a high level of confidence because you're able to adapt to different things because your skill set is set not just in one singular thing, but you're able to adapt and maneuver it in different things. You're able to be like water and adapt to what the team needs for that game to where you can win. I think a big part of a confident person also is being able to overcome adversity, to overcome challenges, to able to fit the mold of what they need. So if you're a great teams have multiple ways to win games. So great teams don't just win by shooting the ball. They can also play great defense too. They can also win by passing and cutting and driving to the goal. We can win multiple ways, but they also overcome adversity. Think about how that first Warriors team that was the comeback kids. They always would be like, man, they down 30 in the fourth quarter, but I'm still watching. I don't care. They will overcome 30-point leads or 30-point. They'll come back from 30-point down to gain the lead and win the game because that level of confidence in themselves, being down by that much to say, we can do it, we can come back. That was fun to watch. Even when Kevin Durant got there, it was still fun to watch because they had that level of confidence to say, man, we can overcome this. We have the confidence in ourselves because we have the skill set, we have the mindset, we're able to adapt to being down 30 and figure out what we need to do to win this game. That confidence right there is different when you're able to overcome things versus the ones who are always the top dog. And it also leads to being confident when things are going wrong. So if you're in a situation where things are going right, and it's easy to stay confident, be high, and feel great when things are going well, but what does it say about you when things are going wrong? Can you come back from adversity and make things right when things are going left and going against you? That's a high level of confidence to sit here with the egg in your face, taking an L, you can beat them again and beat down, but still able to hold your head high and be confident. That's a sign of true confidence. When things are going wrong, you're still able to stay here with your chest out and say, hey, I'm facing it like a man or like a woman. And so that's it, man. That's the 4 A's of what I personally find as a characteristic of a confident person or a confident human being. So now that we laid the foundation of what confidence is, you're ready to start building your confidence now. So confidence isn't just what you believe, it's about what you do, how you respond to challenges, and the habits that develop over time. But confidence doesn't grow like over in isolation by itself. It's about the people around you too. It's about the trainers, it's about your parents, it's about the coaches. Y'all play a big role in either building it up or tearing it down. And that's exactly why I get into my next episode in the interview with my first guest in this season, Philip Morrison.
There's an internal battle and there's an external battle. Michael Phelps' external battle was he wanted to be the greatest Olympian of all time, win 20-something gold medals. And guess what? He did that. And then he wanted to kill himself. Within every man and woman, there's an external battle that everyone sees, and then there's an internal battle. And a lot of people win that external battle and they lose the internal battle. The suicide rate is at the all-time high it's ever been in history since World War II, particularly for men and teenagers. So we have more information, we have more access, we have more resources, and we're more miserable than ever. We lack identity and confidence more than ever. We have a higher rate of prescription drugs and therapy than ever. So I think when it comes to confidence, you have to ask yourself, what is my external struggle? And then God revealed to me, what is my internal struggle? You need to find out what that is and then allow yourself permission to be a human.
He's a high-level skill trainer that has helped plenty of players grow and develop their skill set, not just the game and skills, but also their confidence as well. So make sure that you subscribe so you can catch this next episode. And if this episode gave you some game, gave you something to think about, let me know, man. Drop it in the comments below. But see you next time. Appreciate you. Let's keep building.